Hi and welcome to Watch the Time, and this is an exciting unboxing for me. A really interesting watch I've got here. It all started with me getting into watching producer Michael videos. I've never ever watched one until probably about a week ago, because just looking at the thumbnails, I don't know, I didn't like the look of him, to be honest, the guy. But then I decided to watch one of his videos, and I didn't even know he's an English guy, so living in America, so kind of connected on that level. It was just the way he comes across. I mean, he's obviously a multi-millionaire. He just comes across as quite a genuine person, quite a nice person, and ultimately he's a watch collector. Now, he's a watch collector in a whole different world than the one that I live in, but ultimately we both like watches, designs, and different things. The only major difference really is scale, you know, the amount of money that he spends. What he did get me into looking at was these Richard Mille watches. Now, I've seen them on, I saw one on, I think it was Bubba Watson had one on, and there was a tennis player that wore one. And I don't know if I think they're ambassadors for the design and all that. And I never really took a second look at them, but then he showed a few of his watches, and I actually quite liked them. I thought, yeah, I do like them. Then I had a look at the prices. Now, I found one here for sale on eBay. It's currently for sale. It's £170,000. So then I found a Richard Mille strap, and I think that was £600 just for the strap. So I was like, okay. Then I came across an Instagram feed with something called the Ciga Design X series, which was launching just a few days ago. And it was this new sort of skeleton design watch, but it's a square thing, which, to be honest, I don't like at all. I don't really like square watches. It reminds me too much of an Apple Watch, and I just didn't really like it. But then I started looking into their designs, and they do this Z series, which is a slightly older design. So I found one for sale on the secondary market. I chose the one that I want, waited for it to come up, and here it is. Now, I went for the titanium one, because I felt that's where the most value lie, and it's a fairly big watch, so I wasn't worried about the fact that it might be too light being titanium, which is normally the problem with titanium. And so I went for this watch, and here it is. So there's the design and the packaging is really nice. It's done like a book style rather than normal box style. You're going to see a lot of these design awards, and it's won all these different awards. I could care less about that, to be honest. If it's won design awards, that's fine. Especially if it's for kind of original designs, which I'm in two minds about whether this is inspired by the Richard Mille. Obviously, it could be, I don't know, but I think it stands alone. It's not necessarily a homage. Some might disagree with that, but I think it stands on its own, so I'm happy with that. But as for all these design things, and there's loads more inside, I don't know about their validity, and I don't much care, to be honest. But it's fine if they're proud of their design. I mean, this is just a Chinese brand. Let's just get it out of the box. And I like this is like a slow reveal. So on the first part of the box, you get this like indented sort of picture of the watch, and you start to get an idea of what the watch looks like. And then when you open it up, you get a much clearer idea of what the design of the watch looks like. But obviously it's in black and white, or black and it's almost like a goldy colour. So you're getting an idea now of what the watch is, and you've got some information: skeleton mechanical watch Z series TI for titanium. Then you open like the first page of the book, and then it gives you a glimpse of the watch there, and it says audible heartbeat of a machine, and you can actually see the watch in there, and you can see it's running, so that's quite nice. Over here we've got all these design awards. If any of that interests you, that's fine. So I don't know about the validity of any of that, but whatever. And then the next page of the book, you've got a load of spiel there about the watch, which is nice. Tells you all about the movement, what it is, how it should run, what everything is made of, some of it, how it's made. I think that's really nice, especially like when they start saying, this is a 40-hour power reserve, 25 joules, minus 15 to plus 30 seconds a day. It's a Seagull AAA class self-winding movement. I actually quite like all that. I sometimes wish you got that kind of information with all watches. Crystal, curved synthetic sapphire crystal, hardness level of 9 on the moth scale. Really, really nice. Case back mineral hardened glass, so it's sapphire on the front and mineral on the back. Then over this side we've got a couple of straps and the watch head. Now the first thing I looked at here was this, and I'm just going to get this out of the way first. Now bearing in mind the design of the watch, which is fun, sporty, vibrant, this is the complete opposite, and it's actually not even a very good quality one. If you're going to put something like this in a box, just don't put it in at all, in my opinion. It's, I mean, I'd never wear this. The only good thing about it is the actual, the buckle is quite a nice quality buckle, and I might keep that to put on another strap that I might get. But other than that, just don't put it in. I'd rather you not put it in. Luckily, however, the rubber strap is actually really nice. The keepers have got little locking mechanisms on. It's got a really nice buckle, quick release spring bars, which is really nice. It's got a nice textured top to it, so it's got a nice pattern to it, and then it's fairly smooth, but underneath it, yeah, brilliant. That's perfect. If they'd given us 2 of them or just one of them, I'd have been happy with that. And then the head of the watch. So the first thing we notice about this, obviously, is it's there you can see it's a skeleton design. You can see right the way through it. There you go. And it's I think they call this a tonneau. The shape of it is a tonneau shape, and I think it's really, really nice. And it sets off beautifully in this titanium. A lovely piece of sapphire crystal. I'm not sure, but I suspect that that's a flat crystal underneath and then domed on the top to match the shape, and that cannot have been a cheap piece of crystal to manufacture. It just can't have been. And then you've got the mineral crystal, just a screw-on case back. And the more you look at it, you start to see all these different design cues, like you can see through the sides of the case, which is really nice. Just a nice feature. You can see there the crown stem tube is anodised red, and you've just got 3 little touches of colour on here. 2 on the hands, the red, with a tiny little bit of lume just behind it, the red second hand, and then that little red accent in the stem tube. Just Ciga design on the inside it there, on the movement, or on the structure of the movement. So you can see the balance there spinning away. You can see the pallet fork pinging backwards and forwards. Up the top there you can see the mainspring. You can almost use that like a power reserve indicator. You can see there it's not fully round because you can see through the springs. Onto the side we've got, I'm going to talk about this bit in a little while, Ciga design and these stripes. And then these crown guards, which, I mean, they might have been put on there to look a bit like the pushers on the Richard Mille, or that they are just crown guards in their own right, but either way they look really nice. I like the, there's a nice sort of C logo on the crown there. Whilst we're talking about that, what I wish they'd done was on this side, if they'd put these lines all the way along and just put that C logo in the middle, I think that would have looked a lot more stylish. That's just a bit heavy-handed to me. You don't notice it when you're wearing it, to be fair, and it's, you know, it's not heavily done, but I just think that could have been done better. But anyway, let's get the strap on. Being quick release, this is an easy process. Just pop it in one side, flick it in the other, that's on. Blimey, and I did that on camera. Same on the other side, so just pop it in the bottom, pull the spring bar in. Pop. There you go. Just while we're looking at the back, nice little bit of, is that what they call perlage work on the rotor there? When I first ordered this, my initial thoughts were I was going to remove the rotor and just have this as a manual wind watch, so you could see more of it and see through it. But as it is, the winding of this watch is not a particularly nice experience. To wind, it's really small. The crown guards are fiddly. Obviously, it's not a screw down crown. It's just a push-pull crown. It's actually not a pleasant experience to try and to wind this. So I kind of have to get hold of it like this, and it's just not a nice experience to wind. So, you know, as an automatic, it's not a problem. But my plan of taking the rotor off and having this just as a manual wind gone out the window, because that is not a pleasurable experience. And as it happens, the rotor, because it's skeletonized itself, and has got a massive sort of hole sliced into it. Actually works quite well for me as well, so I'm going to leave it as is. So let's get it on wrist. So there it is on my just over 7¼ inch wrist. Obviously plays with the light interestingly because of the shape and the design of it, but it wears really nicely. So this is about just over 40mm in diameter, 48mm lug to lug, so that's a fairly nice size, and just over 12mm thick. So it's a watch that's not. It actually wears quite well because of the shape and the design. Although it's flat backed, but it wears really nicely. It's got a lot of presence on the wrist, but it's not too massive. It's not too in your face. And on a dark, a black strap like this, it's actually reasonably subtle. My plan originally was to put this on a red strap and really sort of jazz it up. So I am going to do that. I'm going to get a red rubber strap for it, pop it on that just to bring out the red in the second hand and the hands. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I don't know if that's coming across in the video at the moment, but I've only just received this and I've instantly fallen in love with it. I think it's fantastic. And let's talk money. I think you can. I think these were about $350 or something. I paid £150 for this watch, which is not an insignificant amount of money. But when you compare it to the competition and the fact that we've got a decent Seagull movement in here, I don't know about the accuracy of it or anything, but they're fairly easy to regulate. If there's any issues, I'm sure I'll be able to get it running within a couple of seconds a day. But yeah, I just love it. I love those little those sort of three slotted screws. I don't know what they're called. They look really nice. But yeah, I just absolutely love this. Really, really do. Now, some of the negatives people have pointed out are things like legibility. Well, to me, this watch isn't about legibility. And to be honest, since I've sort of had it, I think, well, I can see quite easily what the time is. There are little minute markers around the edge and hour markers. So, it's a fairly legible watch in that respect. But it's a watch that when you look at it, it's not designed for a glance and then, yeah, that's the time. And it gets you looking at the watch a little bit more. So I think the lack of legibility is kind of the point of the design. That's what you're getting with a skeletonized watch. Yes, you could have filled in those hands and not had them skeleton and had them fully all red, and it would have been more legible, but that would have taken away from the skeletonization of the watch. So yeah, I think that they got the design just about right with this one. The other gripe is the water resistance, only 30 meters, which basically means just very lightly splash proof, and then you've got to get it dry as soon as possible, kind of thing. This will not take. You can't go swimming in it. Put it that way. You certainly shouldn't shower. We should never shower in a watch anyway, because heat and soap attacks the seals and can creep inside. But so only 30 meters of water resistance. I'm not really sure why that is, but I would have liked to have seen a sporty kind of watch like this, 100 meters water resistance, or even 50, so that if you did, fall in a fish pond, jump in a swimming pool or whatever, it would have been okay. But a little bit of water splashed on it, washing your hands, or caught outside in the rain, you'll be okay. So yeah, that is a little bit of a negative. Other than that, I love it. I think it's fantastic. I'm going to wear this a lot. Once I've had it for a few days and I've got over the initial sort of wow factor of it, I will do a full review on it. The quality of the finishing is stunning for the money. I don't know, I can't say any other word for it. Bearing in mind this is made out of titanium, the finishing is just utterly superb. I think they've got the amount of skeletonization just perfect. The fact that the balance wheel is at the 6 o'clock position is perfect. It gives a nice symmetry to the dial. The fact that you can see the mainspring, whether it's wound or not, is just great. I just think it's, I don't know why I've never seen these before. Utterly fantastic. I've seen a few reviews on these, and I looked at them and dismissed a lot of them because they were paid promotions, they were given the watch and all that. So be assured that my opinion is based on me spending my money. I've got no affiliation to this company or anything, so it's just my thoughts on it. But I love the second hand, like a needle style in red. Absolutely fantastic. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.